In the case of glaucoma,
Text appears. Now playing episode 3.
in my research, I understand that glaucoma is quite
Scene
common
opens
in
with the
the
camera
younger
focused on
demographic of
Ciego.
Africans, Afro-Caribbeans, or even Hispanics. But for Caucasians, it's not very common in the younger generation. So how true is this?
What I do
Camera now
know is that
focuses on
glaucoma
Dr.
just
Mensah.
generally across the board, it is much more common in black populations. Glaucoma is a condition where the high pressure in the eye damages the nerve at the back of the eye. So your ability to see is dependent on signals received from the eye that then goes to the brain.
Yeah.
And the connecting factor between the two is something called your optic nerve. If you think of the nerve a little bit like a wire cable, where you've got the plasticky bit on the outside and you've got all the copper wires in the middle that send the signal from your eye to the brain. So your optic nerve has about 1.2 million nerve fibers. Now your optic nerve, when you look at it head on, it's got a central cup and an outside rim. Your optic nerve looks a little bit like a polo mint. What happens in glaucoma is that the pressure is too high for the eye, and that central cup, the gap that you see in a polo mint, gets bigger. As you lose your nerve fibers from that pressure impact, that pressure effect, you get less nerve fibers. And the thing about glaucoma, and there are two types, the commonest type is chronic open angle glaucoma. There is another type of glaucoma which is called narrow angle glaucoma. One is painful and one is painless. So the commonest type, which is a slow progressive damage to the optic nerve, and then rather than losing your central vision, you lose your peripheral vision. And that's why people don't notice it, because it's their outside vision. So that's what glaucoma is. So the importance of glaucoma is to, and especially because the commonest cause is the chronic open angle, and because it is painless, is to detect high pressure in the eye. And the best way to do that is by checking the pressure in your eye. Pressure in the eye is measured in millimeters of mercury, and the normal pressure in the eye is up to 21 millimeters of mercury. So anything higher than that means that the eye is at risk, and that would then mean that the optometrist would have to send the patient into a hospital eye service where they would be seen by a specialist.
Okay, so for the benefit of
Camera
my
returns
viewers,
to Ciego.
can you tell the difference between the optometrist and the ophthalmologist? Because I know you are an ophthalmologist.
Yes. So the difference between an optometrist and an ophthalmologist
Camera
is that
cuts
I'm a
to Dr.
doctor, I'm a
Mensah.
qualified doctor.
Okay.
That's the first thing, and optometrists don't usually go to medical school.
Before we go to the fourth
Text
one,
appears.
which is diabetic
Watch out for episode 4.
retinopathy,